All right, so after balance, we use pattern. Does anybody remember what a pattern is?
Repetition of an object.
Repetition, repeating something. Some of you may, if you guys notice in your CSS, when you put a background image, if you do not click no repeat, it repeats. And it just repeats until it fills the whole background. That's repetition, that's pattern. You may use a pattern of in a background to create texture, to create interest. Also, if you use the same template, so if you take that same template and use it across every single web page you have, would that be a pattern? Would it be?
Yes.
Yes. It's repetition. Even though it's the same template, same web page template across every single website page, it's a pattern, and it makes it easy to follow. Patterns, if you notice, when you look at them, especially like in math or you're looking at a chessboard or something, they're just easy to follow. It's easy to find the same things in the same spot consistently. Now, we'll use the next one is contrast. This is your biggest one, is contrast. With contrast, it's how do I make things different? It can be different colors, different sizes, different patterns, just different in general. It could be a black and white film versus a colored graphic novel. It could be they're just different. For web design, your color, your contrast there is your most important for accessibility. So you don't want a black background with dark gray text. You can't read that. Okay? Contrast, again, it can be size, so it can be little, big. Between these two circles, where does your eye go first? Goes to the big circle, okay? If I do all these circles all around, they're all different sizes, and I do one pink circle, where's your eye going to go first? Pink circle, okay? It's different. For whatever reason, the human eye naturally is attracted to things that are different, okay? When I'm grading my graphic design students, if something is 1 pixel out of alignment, I notice it, and it drives me up a wall, okay? Because it's different. The more you train your eyes for it, the more you notice little details that are different, because your eye may go towards it, but you don't know why. If things are slightly not aligned, like if I have 2 things that are center aligned and one of them is just slightly off to the side, your eye goes towards that because it's different. Okay, so you want to use it purposely. You want to use it on purpose. You don't want to do it by accident.
So contrast is used to bring focus towards something such as an object on the web page to make it stand out.
Yes. So contrast is used to bring focus to something on your web page, make it stand out. Is basically contrast is when something is different, which leads into emphasis. This is going back to visual hierarchy and the fact that you want to be the one who controls where your viewer eyes go. So really it should be contrast and emphasis, because whatever you're making different is whatever you're emphasizing. It's what are you wanting to stand out. Again, size, color, shape. I could do a whole thing of circles and one thing of square. Your eye's gonna look at the square. Emphasis, sometimes you wanna make your text bigger, so you might wanna use your H1 to make your title real big, because that's where you want them to look first. So what is my title of the page? And then use your paragraph for your long bodies and text because you don't need them to look there first. You may do a big image to draw attention. Okay, so you don't want someone clicking on your website and then clicking out and being like, yeah, this looks fake and just piecing out. You want to draw their eye in. Okay, so you want to draw, this is another one you have to use purposefully. You want to draw their eye into what's important. Scale kind of goes in with this as well. A lot of these principles, they kind of like intermingle and go together a lot. Scale is just how big is something. Is it little? Is it big? Okay? It's doing different sizes is what scale is. And of course, your eye goes to whoever's biggest. Whoever's biggest, whoever's boldest, whoever's your brightest color. That's your emphasis, your contrast, your scale. And then rhythm and movement. So we kind of talked about this with line a little bit. Rhythm and movement. This is something you can apply. You don't want them to feel like they are stuck at one spot. You want there to be a flow. Whether that is and in a website, you want them to scroll down or click to your other pages. In a website, you don't have much movement except physically scrolling. So you could use your diagonal lines to be like, hey, look, I want you to keep looking down. Or if I'm drawing my music notes, which one sound do you look at and you start playing music in your head? Which one? This one?
Second.
Because it's moving. I don't know if any of the girls had the dresses when they were younger that had like the music notes moving across it. I know some did. Or you were in music class. This is what you would read, or a musician would read, because they needed to be steady while they're the ones doing the movement. But if you're just implying something, you want there to be some kind of movement. Okay, this feels like there's actually something going on, and you're not just standing still going to the next line. Your movement doesn't always have to be through shape. It can be through color. You can use a gradient. It could just be on your website, having one page, or having an image, and then having the little arrow that goes down that click more, click for more information. That can really be your movement. What did I change here? Between these two things, what did I change? My lines. Okay, back to your lines. It's just simple things that are changing to be able to do this. And then the last one is unity and variety. You want to keep things consistent. So back to using a consistent template across every page. What are the structural elements that you keep consistent through every single page? Which one?
The color scheme.
No, your structural elements. So your code. Which ones do you keep consistent through every single page? Your header does not change. Your navigation does not change. And your footer does not change.
What's that group called?
What?
What is the group called? Because I don't remember.
Footer. Header.
Yeah, but like the entire thing together. What is that called?
Body.
Okay.
So inside your body, you have your header, your main, your header, your nav, your main, your footer. Your main is what changes through every page. Everything else stays consistent because we want to unify it. We want it to look cohesive, where it all looks to be as one part. Whereas variety, we do want to add some things, add that spice of life type thing. So with the variety, you may change what's on the main. You're going to change what's on the main. You may change slightly. Is it one column? Is it two column? Is it three column? Use something a little bit different. Not always, but sometimes. But also, what's another? Andre said before, your color is going to stay the same throughout your pages. Your fonts are going to stay the same throughout your pages. Sometimes your image or imagery, like types of images, you want them to stay consistent. If I was a photographer, I would want to keep the same look of images. So I may do all black and whites. Or I want them to look like they came from one photographer, not like I just pulled everything I could off the internet. So you want things to look cohesive, but you can add some difference. You can add some different pieces. All right, go ahead.